Montgomery Clift and then later Paul Newman, two, actors, came from method acting and everything. Like Montgomery Clift and Paul Newman were like, hey, I need my motivation. I need all this. I'm not making fun of these guys. It's just, I think that style of acting didn't mesh well with Hitchcock.
I agree with you. With the method actors should not be working with Alfred Hitchcock.
No.
If I may jump in just on the note of since I teach acting as well, just on a note of it's not. I mean, I know that people associate the issues that Clift and Newman had with Hitchcock as well because they were method actors, but it was because they needed to know why the characters were doing what they were doing. So, for example, the big argument he had with Clift was when he got out of the church, he wanted Clift to look up.
Sure.
And so Clift said, well, why? And he's like, well, just do it, because if you don't, I got nothing to cut to, but he's like, well, why do I look up? And he's not, I mean, whether you're a method actor.
Because the script said so. Watch, ready? You bought it. You totally bought it.
Well, in that case, yes, I think that is a bit much because I mean, I can go outside and just look up for no reason, just check out the weather. But my point is that, why that Clift or Newman felt that they had to go to the director for these answers. There's no reason why you can't justify that for yourself. If you need to justify why you look up, then okay, well, I look up because it seems a bit cloudy, right? You don't really need, and that's such a small thing. I mean, if it's like, well, why am I here to propose to my girlfriend? Well, because I don't seem in love with her in the script. That's a different
fair.
thing.
No, that's fair. I agree. Yeah. If it's just, hey, you got to murder this guy in a scene, but it didn't say it in the script.
That's what I mean. Whoa. Yeah, like I don't really quite understand why they felt they needed the directors to map, because now, as you and I both know, Steve, you never go to the end. You to the director. You just you answer your own question. So I don't know why some of these actors, and it had nothing to do with method. It was just because method was just a way of learning how to act. This was something that actors just started to do, and they happened to be from the studio, and they happened to give directors a hard time with this, and I don't really know why.
That was a clip from the discussion I had last year with Aaron Pinn and Stephen Chambers as we were talking about Alfred Hitchcock cinema, mostly his underrated films. This topic of Alfred Hitchcock working with method actors came up. And I also would like to add to that as much as he had trouble with the likes of Paul Newman and Montgomery Clift, who were from method acting and are from the Actors Studio in New York, he also worked with actors who were from that same school of method that he had no trouble with. Eva Marie Saint, Carl Malden, Bruce Dern. I think the problem doesn't lie so much in the style of acting as people have, you see what Aaron and Steve are saying in this video that, well, those actors don't belong in Hitchcock's films because of their style. It has nothing to do with the style. It was just their, at the end of the day, it's realistic, truthful acting, and that happens to be an approach that actors were learning and was very popular in the 1950s, and it is to this day. And as I said, some of these actors just needed to work very closely with directors on their performances, and there were those who went to that same school, like Eva Marie Saint and Carl Malden, who simply did it. They could answer those questions on their own. Whatever the direction was, they took the direction and did it to the best of their ability. And that's just how these things go. And unfortunately, these things have been sort of blown up in the press and certain things Hitchcock may have said and stuff like that. But the reality is, it just comes down to that particular actor's personality and what they needed from a director. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If this is your first time on my channel, please consider subscribing by pressing the subscribe button, which you can find floating above to the top left of the screen. Click on that and then click the bell in order to get a notification every time I release a new video or go live. Thanks so much, folks. See you soon.